Black Belt for the Sega Master System is a classic beat-em-up game that brings martial arts action to the 8-bit console. Developed by Sega and released in 1986, it's a title that has garnered attention for its straightforward gameplay and nostalgic appeal. Let's dive into what makes this game stand out and where it might fall short. The premise of Black Belt is fairly simple but effective. You play as a martial artist named Billy on a quest to rescue your girlfriend from the clutches of the evil shogun. Along the way, you'll battle through various enemy fighters who specialize in different martial arts, making it a pretty straightforward revenge narrative, but one that fits perfectly within the genre. Black Belt is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with basic but satisfying combat mechanics. You control Billy as he moves through different stages, defeating waves of enemies. The controls are simple, with a punch, kick, and jump action to string together combos. The game also has a unique feature where Billy can perform a special Dragon Punch type move, adding a bit of variety to the usual fighting fare. The gameplay itself is functional but repetitive, while the core action is fun, especially for fans of martial arts games. It doesn't offer much in terms of depth. The levels can feel a little monotonous, with enemies often repeating the same patterns, and there isn't a lot of strategic variety to the combat. The difficulty ramps up quick though, with harder enemies and bosses, which adds a bit of challenge for those looking for more of a test. For an 8-bit game, the graphics in Black Belt are decent. The backgrounds are simple, and the character sprites are basic but well animated, especially during combat. The game does a good job of making each level feel distinct, from the jungle stages to the more urban ones, giving the game a bit of visual diversity despite the limitations of the hardware. The sound design, however, is where Black Belt shows its age. The music is catchy at first, but can become repetitive, and the sound effects are basic. Punches, kicks, and enemy death sounds don't do much to enhance the atmosphere. Still, for the time it works, and the music fits the action well enough. Black Belt doesn't have a ton of replay value beyond completing the game. The stages don't change, and while the difficulty increases, the lack of variety in enemy types and the repetitive nature of the gameplay can make it hard to stay engaged for long periods. However, for fans of the genre, it's still a fun way to pass the time and challenge yourself to improve your skills. Black Belt on the Sega Master System is a solid, if unspectacular, beat-em-up. It captures the spirit of 1980s martial arts films, offering a straightforward but fun martial arts adventure. The simple mechanics and repetitive nature of the gameplay might not be for everyone, but for fans of old-school action games, it's a satisfying experience. It's certainly not the deepest or most polished beat-em-up on the system, but it has enough charm to make it worth a look, especially for fans of retro Sega games.